Hey there, this is Sarah from sarahdesign.com, and today I'm going to show you how to put text behind your image in Photoshop so that you can create a banner image that really stands out and is unique on your Squarespace website. So let's get into it. Right now I have my main image, which looks like this. So you might have something like this for your website. If you're a coach or course creator, then you've gotten some branded headshots probably by now. If not, you should definitely do that. And you got some shots of yourself where you're off to one side and there's a blank area next to you. So now we want to figure out, how do we get text that looks like it's going behind your head in an image like this? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the layers palette. Here's my image of this woman. By the way, I found her image on Unsplash, and the other image I'm going to show you I also found on Unsplash. You can head there if you ever need to get images for free. So since I'm going to be flattening my text, you might have a logo here or some phrase. What I do is I make a copy of it. That way the original editable text, which I could delete a letter out of or make an edit to, is still preserved in case I make a mistake. Now we're going to go up to the one that we're going to flatten. I'm going to say Sarah Design Flat. And then what I'm going to do there is I'm going to hit Control on my keyboard. I'm on a Mac, and click on the word and go in here and hit Rasterize Type. So now this is just an image of text. It's not editable with the text tool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, first of all, I'm going to get my layers palette. I'm just going to drag it out and move it out of the way so I can still see it while I'm zooming in and out. So I'm going to zoom in by hitting Command plus, or you can also use your zoom tool over here. And then I can use my hand tool to scoot her over. I'm just going to adjust where my layers palette is. Okay, so I'm on my flat Sarah Design layer. I want to go over and I want to get my eraser tool and bring it over here. Now I don't know if you can see, but there's a circle showing the size of the brush on my eraser tool. I can make it bigger by hitting the right bracket on my keyboard. See, it's getting really big, or smaller by hitting the left bracket. You can also do that up here in this drop down. You can choose your size of brush, and you can also choose if it's a hard round brush that has a hard edge, or if it's soft for softer areas. So I'm going to use the hard round brush. Okay, and it's fairly large. I'm just going to start erasing the name where it is on her face. So we're just going to be careful over here to get those little edges, and I'm going to go down here where her neck is, clean that up, and her shoulder, and then over by her face. Now this is a little trickier here, so I'm going to zoom in more by hitting Command plus, and on the text layer, this layer, I want to make it a little bit transparent. So I'm going to go up where it says opacity, and I can use the slider here to make it go more see-through, or I can just hold my mouse over the word opacity and slide left to make it more transparent, or right to make it more opaque. So I'm dragging it left, so it's at 42% transparency, just so I can see better. And I'm going to zoom right in. I'm going to make my brush size a little smaller by hitting that left bracket key, and then just clicking and clicking where her face and mouth is, and that's looking pretty good. Okay, so let's go up. I'm going to use the hand tool. What I do is I hold the space bar, and that gives me the hand tool. I like to use these keyboard shortcuts. So her eyelashes, which are amazing, are also overlapping. So what we want to do here is we want to get a very, very tiny brush and literally like just paint right over her eyelashes. So I am erasing so her eyelashes are revealed below. And I'm just going to get this last little bits, and that looks pretty good. Okay, double click the hand tool to get back out to full size, and we can see how it is looking good. Just gonna zoom out a little bit, and then at this point, if I wanted to, I could have my Sarah layer. If I want to go up into the opacity, I can make it more white. I could make it less. So I could also, if I want to add color to it, I could go down to where it says FX at the bottom of the layers palette, and I can hit color overlay, and I could play with some different colors on here. And again, turn down the opacity on those, and just make it really subtle in the background. That way, when we're in Squarespace, if we want to start writing text on top of this, for example, let me just do that real quick. If I just had some text here and pretend we're in Squarespace and we're typing up our text, and that's a weird font. I want to make sure that I would be able to see it. So I got to make sure that where it says Sarah Design, it is faded out enough so that text would show over top of it and it wouldn't be too distracting. And I think that looks all right. And it might be that my text is, you know, a darker color as well. So that's looking pretty good. All right, let me show you another example. I'm gonna hide that, and hide her. Okay, so now let's look at this young lady right here. So she is tricky because she has lots of little flyaways. So whereas the gal up here had just her lashes and everything else was pretty smooth, this young lady has many flyaways in her hair that we're going to have to deal with. So it's going to be a little harder, but it's still worth it. So let's go up to our original text. We're going to make a copy of it by dragging it down to this little plus icon at the bottom of the layers palette next to the trash can. We're going to hide the original and drag that Sarah Design so it's down above our layer just to make it neat and tidy. And then I'm going to rasterize that layer again. So I'm going to hit Control and click on where it says the name and scroll down and hit rasterize type. And now it is an object and not editable text. Then we're going to go again and grab our eraser tool. Still on my text, yes. I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, and I'm going to make my brush size bigger. Can't even see it. That's how small it was. And just start erasing where her body is. And then at this point, you would probably want to go in and start dealing with the little wispy hairs over here. So this means that you just zoom way in. You're going to make your eraser very, very tiny. And I can see this thick line of hair is kind of going in a straight line. If I click at the top, hold Shift, I let go, and then I click at the bottom, it just does a straight line. That's a really handy way of erasing. I can do the same here. It's probably continuing to go down here, more straight lines. If I have trouble seeing, I can reduce the opacity on the hair and really find all of those spots. Now this one is more of a curve, so I literally have to just drag my mouse around. If I mess up, just hit undo. And it's a lot of work, but you would just keep on going until you have it looking pretty good. So I've already done this on another layer, so I'm just going to grab that and you can see how nice it looks. Let's get our layers palette out of the way. And it looks pretty cool with her hairs kind of flying over the word. And then again, I could go in and reduce the opacity of the word if I wanted to. So I hope you try out this technique. It's a really, really fun way to add some excitement behind something in an image. You could also do this with a pattern or some sort of texture, all kinds of cool things that you can do with a little bit of design trickery in Photoshop. And then you just load it up into your Squarespace website and all of your viewers are amazed. So have fun with that. Hope that was helpful. Bye.